What is telephonic injury triage? Let's say you have a box. A heavy one. Well, maybe a bit heavier. That's better. And let's also say that you have a good employee. His name is Bob. Now, Bob walks along and sees the heavy box.
What's this doing?
And Bob decides he's going to tidy up a bit and put the box back on the shelf where it belongs.
Uh-oh.
But what happens if Bob hurts his back? Well, Bob has options. He could, of course, tough it out and go back to work.
It's not that bad.
But what if it gets worse?
Ow.
That's not good for Bob, and that's certainly not good for his company. Now we're talking lost time, lost wages, insurance claims, potential litigation, and that's not good for anyone.
That's not good.
Or he could go see what his supervisor has to say, who may or may not have had the same injury 16 years ago when he was a star football player for State College.
I hurt my back.
Hurt your back, huh? I had that once.
But what is the supervisor going to do? Is he medically trained to make a decision? Probably not. So he drops the workers' compensation ball
Maybe we should get this looked at.
and decides to drive Bob off-site to the emergency room to get immediate assistance. And we all know what happens when the ER gets involved. A bill is generated, a claim starts, workers' comp, case management, indemnity, and so on. And poor Bob, we didn't forget about him, is still waiting to be seen at the ER.
Probably just busy.
Don't worry, Bob. Someone will be with you shortly.
Just a couple minutes, I'm sure.
Now let's look at a different scenario. What if Bob's company had Medcor and their 24-hour telephonic injury triage service recommended by the team at Heffernan Insurance Brokers? And let's say Bob sees that same box again.
What's this doing here?
Sorry, Bob. This will be the last time.
Uh-oh.
And because Medcor trained Bob's company on what to do when an injury occurs, Bob goes immediately to his supervisor.
I hurt my back.
Hurt your back, huh?
And the supervisor immediately calls Medcor. And within seconds,
Medcor Online, how may I help you?
the supervisor and Bob are put in touch over the phone with a registered nurse. And in the end, it turns out Bob's injury isn't all that bad.
Phew.
And he's able to self-treat his injury with the proper instructions that Medcor's registered nurse gave him. And then Bob thanks the nurse,
Thank you.
and the supervisor thanks the nurse.
Thank you.
And Bob is able to stay at work, all because Bob's company had Medcor's telephonic injury triage service. Now, sometimes workplace injuries are serious, and employees need off-site health care. So if Bob's injury were more severe,
Ow.
the nurse would have suggested to Bob that he see a medical provider. In those kinds of circumstances, the nurse will make a referral to the employer's preferred provider network. More still, when referrals are necessary, the nurse will refer to the appropriate level of care, so employees don't end up in the emergency room if they don't need to be there. Some may say this is a new service, but it's not. Medcor was the first to offer injury triage more than 12 years ago. Medcor is the first company to advance the field of injury triage using software developed by an in-house team of medical and technology professionals. Medcor's business model is in its 6th generation, with experienced, specially trained nurses and successful nationwide account implementations. Medcor currently serves more than 70,000 client locations. Last year alone, Medcor's nurse call center received more than 180,000 injury triage calls. Medcor is an independent company, which operates on a fixed-fee basis and does not benefit from referrals. Medcor's services are portable and are compatible with all insurance programs, TPAs, provider networks, and brokers. In the end, remember this. Medcor has been reducing workers' compensation claims for clients over the telephone for over 12 years. Medcor has physician oversight, experienced registered nurses, and a URAC-accredited health call center. For more information, please visit the team at Heffernan Insurance Brokers online at www.hefgroup.com and see how their services, powered by Medcor, can improve your workplace injury challenges.